What kind of business should you start if you want to become a millionaire or even a billionaire? This book right here, The Airbnb Story. I was reading it. I'm taking Jed up to look at some trained German Shepherds, and I was reading this book, fascinating story. I've seen these principles over and over work, and once again, Airbnb, the principle that you gotta know worked for them. The principle is turn your mess into your message. Turn the mess in your life, the biggest problems in your life, into a business. So here's the story of Airbnb, which is now worth $30 billion. Well, these guys, they didn't just become millionaires, they're at the $1 billion level. So Bryan, Joe, and Nathan, they had a problem. Actually, I think Nathan wasn't in the company at this point, but the two co-founders, they had moved from the East Coast, they had moved to San Francisco. They had $1,000 in their bank account, and rent was coming up, and it was $1,500. Huge problem, you can't pay your bills. What do most people do? They whine, complain, and give up. What did these guys do? They got creative. They said, there's a conference in town. They looked up, they found out there was some conferences in town. They said, what if we rent out some air mattresses in our little apartment here? What if we could generate enough money to pay our bills, to pay the full $1,500 rent? And that's the story of Airbnb. It worked. They took their biggest problem in their life, not being able to pay rent, and they turned it into what's now a $30 billion company. So you gotta think long and hard. What kind of business should you start? What should you do with your life? Take a mess, a problem in your life, and turn it into a business. Richard Branson, the billionaire, had the same story. He got stuck on an island and couldn't get off. Big hurricane was coming in. He didn't know how to get off, so he chartered a flight, and then to pay for the flight, because he was young, he sold tickets to other people, and that's where Virgin Airlines comes from. So over and over, you see this story. Biggest problem in your life. Don't be like most people. Don't complain about it. Turn it into something profitable. So leave a comment below. What's a problem in your life you could potentially turn into your next business? All right? Cool book.